Good morning. Take a seat.
Thank you.
So, what's your name?
Rudraksh.
Yes.
Malika Gawala.
Rudraksh, your roll number 1A. And Malika, your roll number 1B. Right? So, Rudraksh, tell me a little about your hobby and why do you prefer that particular hobby?
Ma'am, my hobbies are basically drawing and painting. I love to do traditional Indian paintings which include Patachitras and miniature forms of different Indian states, as we can see that. And other than this, I like to study different books which are based on early Indian histories like Mughal Badshahs, etc. And also like of biology, especially as I aspire to be a doctor. So I like to read the new researches going on in biology, and also I like to explore the human body, all the functions and this.
Okay. Malika, what do you like about your school?
Ma'am, the best thing I like in my school is the discipline, and everyone is helping, even with the teachers. And ma'am, there is a discipline, and ma'am, we do study with playing, and ma'am, there is a so we love our school.
Rudraksh, what topic you have prepared for your assessment today?
Ma'am, Ebola virus.
Okay, Rudraksh, while you speak, after you finish, you will be put a question by your partner and by the teacher. So you may start with your topic.
Ma'am, Ebola is a notoriously deadly virus that causes fearsome symptoms, the most prominent being high fever and massive internal bleeding. It kills as many as 90% of people in its effect. Epidemics of Ebola virus has mainly occurred in Western African countries of Uganda, Sudan, Congo and the Ivory Coast. Ebola virus gained much of its widespread attention in the fall of 2014 when outbreak in Africa was noted as the largest outbreak in the history. Actually, it is hypothesized that the first patient became infected by the contact with an infected animal from Ebola virus. Ebola virus is a highly communicable disease. It spread through contact with blood, feces or any other body fluids of an infected person, or as we can see, direct contact with the virus, as in the case of a laboratory, or dealing with corpses which have been infected by Ebola virus. The very first symptoms, initial symptoms of this disease are very general seeming, like high fever, muscle ache, stomach ache, body ache and diarrhea. But the symptoms which tend to follow are very, very severe, like bloody eyes, bloody nose, bloody vomiting and blood in sputum. Finally, the patient suffers from chest pain, shock and death. A protein on the surface of virus has been discovered that is responsible for this massive internal bleeding, the death-leading feature of the disease. The Ebola virus can be prevented. We can prevent ourselves from Ebola virus. This basically involves barrier nursing techniques, which include wearing of gloves, masks and goggles while dealing with Ebola patients. Other than this, there is also complete sterilization of equipments which are used to deal with the Ebola patient, and isolation of the patient from other unprotected persons so that this doesn't spread. Currently, there is no specific treatment given for this disease. The patient is treated with life supportive measures like balancing the oxygen level, maintaining the electrolytes and the body fluids and also the blood pressure. Further, the patients are treated for any further complications in their body so that they can stay alive. In September 2014, WHO issued an interim guidelines for the treatment of Ebola therapy. The blood serum of all the people who have survived this infection has been collected, and researches are going on that if there is any possible treatment for this Ebola. So let's hope that there might come up some vaccine so that everyone is safe from it.
Okay, Malika, what question you would like to put to Rudraksh?
What on your behalf you will do to stop this?
Ma'am, actually, as we can see, Ebola is a very deadly virus. So on our basis, on our level, we can do very less. Like we can just spread awareness. But it is in the hands of government that this virus doesn't enter their country. Like we can see, this has spread basically from the Western African countries. So all the flights and the people who are coming from the Western African countries to our country, like India, they should be strictly checked, and all the medical tests should be there, that there's no specific Ebola virus in them. Like as we can say, a case was introduced in the Delhi airport. So the person was stopped at the airport itself, and he was checked for if there is any Ebola fever, so that it doesn't spread to India. And on the other hand, we can see we are having a huge population. India is having a huge population. So if only a single person enters from any other country with Ebola virus, the whole country will be affected, and there will be a lot of deaths in the country, and it would be difficult to deal.
Okay, Rudraksh, my question to you. These doctors and the nurses who treated people infected by this virus, they were given prominence and they were even conferred this time achievement award. So do you think it is justified that these doctors and the nurses to be acknowledged like this?
Yes, ma'am, I think it's justified that they are acknowledged like this. As we can see, the first case which moved out of Africa was in Texas. Earlier, the nurses and the doctors was not able to judge that whether he is having Ebola or not. So the doctor and the two nurses which were treating him were infected by Ebola patient. And as we can see, it is a deadly virus, so all the doctors and nurses are taking risk of their life to save the life of other people. So it's a very big achievement. And also they are working for the cause of society, so that everyone would be safe, and this Ebola virus doesn't spread to other citizens of the country. That's why I think it's appropriate to give them this acknowledgement.
Okay, thank you. Malika, what topic you have prepared for today?
Now my topic is corruption.
Please begin. You will again put a question by your partner, and I will also put you a question. Start, please.
Corruption in India is one of the most menacing threats to our economy, which we have been battling with ever since the independence. It totally destroys a country's economy. Corruption is mostly found in the developing countries, and mostly it destroys a country. And the Indian media has published allegations in which they have said that the Swiss banks have trillions of dollars. Swiss authority, however, denied these allegations. New political leaders, when come to power, they declare the determination to stop the corruption. But after some time, they get involved in these activities. And so that a common man on his or her behalf must try to solve this corruption. And there are now laws cannot be made to stop this, because it has reached to a very great extent. And by improving the social or the economical conditions, this cannot happen, because the most of the people involved in the corruption are not poor, They have a well-defined status in the society, Therefore, a common man should come forward, and the person must change his or herself to stop the corruption, A strong youth movement can also stop this corruption.
Okay. Rudraksh, what question you would like to ask?
Ma'am, I would like to ask Malika that, as we can see, corruption is not a thing that could be stopped by laws or any other movement. Corruption is a thing that should be stopped from within ourselves. So how will you say that we'll inculcate the moral value that youth should not do corruption? As we can see that if even laws are made, this corruption process will somewhere go internally in the whole country.
This process can be started from the school and the home. The students should be taught moral values along with the studies. They should be taught that these things are wrong, what they are doing. And the parents should also teach their children, the moral values, because whatever we learn in our earlyhood, we get it clear in lives.
Okay. Malika, what role do you think students or children can play in stopping corruption?
Because the children are the future of the country. Whatever they will learn today, they will apply it in the future. Therefore, they must inculcate that value of not doing the corruption or anti-corruption, then only the corruption can be stopped.
Okay. So we move on to the next task of your speaking assessment.